Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Kimberly Ann, and I am back with video number 4. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Kimberly Ann Designs on Instagram. I'll put that below in the show notes. And on Facebook, I'm Kimberly Ann. You've probably seen me around a lot of the cross-stitch groups. I'm in quite a few. Let's see. I don't really have a lot of stitching done this week. I don't have much haul. Don't really have a lot of life stuff to talk about. It was kind of a relaxed week. The last couple days, I've actually babysat two of my 4 grandbabies. I have the 2-year-old and the 4-year-old again today. So if you hear a little bit of background noise, they're in the other room playing. I've asked them to step out. This is my second time trying to film. They wanted to stay in the first time. The first 2 or 3 minutes was perfect. They come and said hello, and they went on about their way and was quiet and watching. And then all of a sudden, boys will be boys, and my grandson was going buck wild, bouncing all over the place, so I had to put them out. So if you hear a little background noise, it's just them in the other room. They're fine. They're playing and watching cartoons. So let me remind you, I think I forgot to say it last week, but when we hit 50 subscribers, we're going to have a giveaway. I already have it picked out. It's a pattern, and it will be kitted up. Not sure if I'm going to add fabric, but it definitely will have the call for threads, and maybe something else. But we are close. I think we're at like 43 subscribers. So if you like what you see today, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and hit the little bell so you don't miss any more content. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I have thoroughly enjoyed the first 3 videos. The first one I was really nervous. The second one I was a little better. Last week was good, but I was upset about my friend, but this week I'm great. I feel fine. And hopefully it just gets better as time goes on. I'll get more organized with my show notes and stuff. We're going to get this figured out, so stick around. So a little bit of life stuff. Like I said, my daughter is a school teacher, and her mother-in-law, who normally babysits for her, needed 2 days off this week, which is totally fine. I never have a problem babysitting my grandkids. So Tuesday she worked the polls like she's done for probably the last 30 years for our election. And then today she's at a convention that I actually wanted to go to, and I forgot to buy a ticket. It was for embroidery and vinyl, which I do both. So yeah, so she's over there having a ball without me, but that's okay, Kelly. She'll hook me up with some stuff when she gets back. And then let's see, yesterday was our oldest son's birthday. He turned 23. So all 3 of our kids have now had their birthday this year. We had 2 in January and 1 this month. And we had him a little get together last night. And then the rest of the week's been kind of relaxed. I've had a couple of new starts. A little bit of stitching. Felt a little bit under the weather. We went to a birthday party Saturday, and it was for my niece who turned 5. And like 6 of her 12 cousins were sick. So I guess, with Gigi loving on all the babies, I caught a little cold, but I'm feeling better now. The beginning of the week was rough. I didn't want to do anything. So I didn't get much stitching done. So that's about all the life stuff I have. Nothing spectacular. We just kind of hung out this week, trying to stay out of the stores where everybody's being crazy. We're trying to stay home and not catch this bug that's going around. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm going to do whips, starts, and finishes all in one group because some are all 3. So first, we're going to go with the Bee Sampler by Lila Studios. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied today. Because this is the one I got the most work done on, which I had another one that was close, but this is the one I got the most. So, this is how far I am now. So when I showed you last week, I was like right here. So I've done all of this. I just have the bee to finish here, and that motif will be done. It's partly outlined. I just got to color it in with the black and the yellow. Then there's 2 roses up this way, 1 more big motif, and then 2 small matching motifs right there, and then it will be a complete finish. The pattern calls for 1 initial here and 1 here, but it allows enough room to where I could move it over, so I put my first and last initial in this box. and then 20 for the year over here. I like that a little bit better. But y'all, I'm telling you, I know I said it last week, this 3 colored scheme is gorgeous. I really, really like it. And I may do another Quaker or 2 that only has 1 or 2 colors, or maybe 2 or 3. It adds a little bit of color, but just enough to make it pop. It's simply gorgeous. I just can't tell you how much I love this pattern. I don't know. I am crazy over this. So like I said before, this is by Lila's Studio. She has a website and an Etsy store. And a lot of her stuff is also on 123 Stitch. I actually ordered this from her Etsy store, and she ships really, really quick. Like, I've ordered probably 7 or 8 of her patterns already, and I usually get them within 2 or 3 days. So that was the B sampler. I got 892 stitches in this week on that one. Let's see. Next is my Plant Sal by Stitchonomy. I am still behind on that one. I started out, it was a every 2-day thing for the month of February. I started out really good. By like the 3rd day I was at number 5, and then I stopped. The same thing with my Weather Sal. I really think that it's the strict structure of how soon the patterns come out, because I've done a lot of sals that were more open-ended, and I love them. Because some days I pick up something and I'll put 2 or 3 stitches and be like, oh, I'm not feeling this today. Let me grab something else. So on that day, if I've only put, if I put less than like 40 stitches, I don't even count it for the day. I just leave it on my counter and add it for whatever day I stitch again. Because that's really not what I call progress. I mean, I know it technically is progress, but to me that's nothing. So I think I'm not going to join any more scheduled mystery sals for a little bit, just to see if maybe that's what it is. Because like I said, the open-ended sals I've joined, that you get a pattern like once a month, or you get the whole chart, you buy the chart up ahead and you work on it, you just have an end date. Those are the ones I seem to finish like either on time or ahead. So I think it's the strict, like these coming out every 2 days has just burnt me out. So, but my goal for this month was to do 1 plant a week, because I knew if I got the 4 weeks done, I only had 5 to do when I started. If I got to the 4th plant, I was going to, in my mind, I know that I would be like, no, we're going to finish this, and I'd do the 5th plant. So I have kept up with that. Last week you saw it. I had this plant done. So this week I have the aloe vera done. Now what's left to finish for the month, if I want to get this a finish, and I do, it's listed as to finish 4 plants, but I've challenged myself to finish it as a finish and fully finish it off. So I have the little short shelf that I have to restitch because I've miscounted, and then 2 more potted plants and 2 hanging plants, and I will be done. And boy, will I be glad when I am done, because like I said, I love houseplants. I have them all over my bedroom, all over the house, the yard, but I just got burnt out on this one. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm sure all of y'all have projects like that where you're in love with it at first, and then you're just like, oh, do I have to touch that this week? So that was the plant sal, and that plant was 484 stitches. So those 2, I put over 1,000 stitches in this week. So really, I'm not doing too bad. The next one is a new start, a finish, and a fully finished off. Not a fancy fully finished, but it's fully finished. So this is Lucky by Cherry Hill Stitchery. It's a cute little chart. I got this to do with Erin from Two Martini Stitcher for the Lucky birthday sal, to celebrate her birthday. I think it's the 24th of this month. I didn't wait till the end of the month because I wanted to be able to display it for St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to leave it up through March though, but I definitely wanted it out for St. Patrick's Day because I have a niece that's born on St. Patrick's Day. So this one was 861 stitches. I started it on the 6th and I finished it on the 10th. So that's one finish for this month, which when I get to my goals, I'll tell you how I'm progressing pretty good on my goals. I mean, I had big ambitious goals, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm keeping up with my acrostics. So, let's see. Next was a new start that I started on election day. Well, our election day was Tuesday the 10th. So I started this on the 10th, and it is George and Martha by Plum Street Samplers, because I'm addicted to Plum Street Samplers. So that is the chart. And let's see. This week I got 595 stitches, and that's what I have done. It doesn't look like much, but I like it. These colors in this pattern, I'm using the called for DMC conversion. I absolutely love the colors for this chart. It is gorgeous. They're kind of, I would call them country blues and reds and beiges. Not really bright. They're kind of deep, muted country colors, I would say. I love it. Y'all, I don't know. I'm happy today. I don't know why. I promise you I'm not drinking or, popping pills or anything. I don't know, I'm in a good mood today. Thank goodness. Because some days I wake up and I don't want to talk to myself because I'm so grumpy. All right. So the next one is a new start, and it is Crunch. It's a new start, and I counted it as a new start, but I only got 44 stitches. I started this at 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then I realized as soon as I started stitching that I was tired. So I got a few stitches in. This is the bottom of the cup and going to the radishes. But I mean, it's technically a start. So I started this one on the 11th, and that's another one of my goals. Out. When I'm done. Out. Out. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so that was Crunch. Like I said, I got 44 stitches in that, and I started that on the 11th. Y'all, I am not used to having kids interrupting me when I'm doing things, because I raise my babies. My baby is 21. The 1-year-old, actually, if I tell her to sit down and watch, she will sit and be quiet and watch. The 2-year-old is in the, I need to ask you something, I need to tell you something stage. So I apologize, y'all. Y'all have kids. I know y'all understand. So the next thing I'm going to show you, I actually finished in January. I started at January 12th and I finished at January 21st, but I FFO'd it last week. It's just a simple little pillow tuck. I actually set it in my 3-tier tray because I needed something. My tray has really high sides, so most of the things I made to go in there were kind of small and you can't even see them. So this is the perfect size to sit in there and it still be seen. But, I mean, I didn't do nothing fancy. I didn't trim the edges. Just use this cute little flower fabric I had. But yeah, I like this pattern. I love bees, y'all. I have so many bee patterns. I have one project bag with a piece of painter's tape on the outside and it says bee projects. There's probably 30 patterns and about 70 different colors of floss in there because they're all kitted up. And whenever I don't have anything specific I want to work on, I grab a bee project. Because Maven, be quiet. Okay, so that was just an FFO. I didn't stitch on that this week. The last thing is a broken heart project. I really, really wanted to make great progress on my Halloween Quaker. And Sunday, I worked on it for hours. While I was working on it, I was talking and goofing around with my husband. And I put it down for a little while. That night when he went to sleep, because he goes to bed for work. Or goes to bed early for work. So when he goes to sleep at night, I usually stitch for a few more hours till I get tired because I have insomnia. So he goes to bed. I start stitching and I'm finished with a section of the motif and I'm about to start it. It's how do you say it? It's a motif that's broken up into quadrants, like 4 sections that are identical. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I got to do the third one, I realized it was not lining up with the first or the second. So I had like 375 stitches that I had to rip out. So the only progress I have, look, you can still see some of the fuzzies where I ripped all that out. The only progress I have is like this. This is the only part of that whole thing I did way out to here that was right. I messed up like right here and it threw the whole thing off. So on my notebook or my planner, it shows that I did 375 stitches. And then it's got a big X that says you suck. Because I had to pick it all out. So I have not touched this since then. I've been brokenhearted. Today, I'm going to try to get this motif done after the little ones go home. So tonight, if my husband and I don't go out to eat or anything, this is going to be my focus because it is one of my acrostics to have this one done and another big one started. So this is killing me. Like, I really wanted this done before I filmed today. Y'all, you just, oh my goodness. I thought I was going to cry the other night. I literally sat in bed for like 2 hours picking out stitches and just complaining like, you idiot. How could you have miscounted so bad? I don't know. I was heartbroken. It's terrible. So that is all the stitching I got done this week. It doesn't seem like much, but actually it was. I mean, it was 2,000 stitches almost. You know, if I get in 500 stitches, I'm doing good because I never know from minute to minute what I'm doing. My daughter-in-law is trying to go back to school. So I'll have the 1-year-old. My mom, I usually hang out with her when she's off of work. My dad does construction work and he's all by himself since my uncle that worked with him passed away. So when he needs help, I go help him. My daughter can't, she don't have a babysitter. She can't just take off of work because she's a school teacher and they're only allowed so many days a year. And plus she's like the chair of the kindergarten and the chair of the activities department for the whole school district. And so, she cannot miss work. So a lot of times I get texts at 10 o'clock at night, I need you to babysit tomorrow, or can you run this one to the doctor? Can you take that one to some such and such? And her husband will meet me to pick them up at a certain time. And so I never know what's going to happen. So if I get 500 stitches in on any projects, one or total in a week, that's good for me. Yeah, it's called The Life of a Young Gigi. Have kids early, you have grandkids early. You have grandkids early, you don't get to not be busy when you get older and want to be not busy. But I guess it's good to chase them around in my 40s rather than be chasing around my 70s. So, we're good. Okay, so now let's see, before we jump into my goals and stuff, we're going to do haul. I only have a little bit. So last week I was telling y'all that I've been stitching for about 25 years. Excuse me. I've been stitching for around 25 years, on and off. I just recently picked it back up after a few years of being away from it, like last summer, the beginning of last summer. And I said that I was taught by my neighbor when I was 20 to stitch on Ada. She said, don't even try the napkins or the linens or anything like. She said, oh, it's too much of a pain in the behind. Just use Ada. Just use Ada. Use 14 count. Everything fits on 14. All patterns are written for 14. That was back in the old days. So I stated that I was going to try something new. So one of my haul pieces is a piece of white 28 count Lugana that I ordered from, 123 Stitch. I'm going to give it a try. It's a pretty big piece. Let's see. 18 by 27. Of course, I hate plain white, so I'm going to dye it before I try it. Maven, shush. I'm going to dye it before I try it. And then I'm going to try, do something in the corner if I don't like it. I mean, I'll probably stitch something on it even if I don't really like it. But my goal is to do some of my fancier patterns, because I have a lot of fancier patterns that call for high count fabric. I need to get off of Aida. I love Aida. But some patterns, I feel like it's doing them an injustice to stitch them on Aida. It just doesn't look as nice when it's finished as the patterns, the pictures and the patterns show, and all the projects that you out there are doing on the higher count fabrics. So I really, really want to get into something else. So Bree from Bree's Stitching Stuff suggested trying Lugana first. She said she really likes that. So I'm going to try this, and I will let y'all know probably next week how I like it. I'm going to try to get it dyed this weekend. Then my only haul is from 123 Stitch. So all of this came from 123 Stitch. My next thing is the Suffrage Act from Little House Needleworks. Because I asked all the girls, I feel like I failed people. I asked all the girls in my family if they knew what the Suffrage Act was. One of them is actually going to school to be a medical assistant. She was trying to figure out, like, was it something to do with the medical field? Because I always quiz her, like, hey, Emily, do you know what this is? Or, hey, Emily, do you know what this disease is? Or, hey, what did they use this medicine for? Because she is at her externship part of the schooling. So, I'm a medical assistant too, so I'm always quizzing her. So she really was overthinking it and thought it was something to do with her schooling. No. Then I asked my daughter-in-law. She had no clue. When I told her what it was, she's like, oh, I do remember something about that. I asked my daughter, who is a school teacher. She had no clue. So I feel like I failed the women in my family that's younger than me, because they had no idea that this year marks 100 years since we had the right to vote. So I am making this, and I am going to proudly hang it somewhere in the house so all the women in my family can see that we do important things, but sometimes it's not always taught in school. So we are going to do this. Okay, and me and Brie, we must be like soul sisters or something, because we have the exact same taste in fabrics, same taste in quilting stuff, cross stitch patterns. We're both kind of like hippie, fly by the seat of our pants kind of people. Live and let live, and peace, love, and happiness. And we're both addicted to houseplants. Like, it is crazy. And I swear, I was a mermaid in my former life. I love everything mermaid. I actually used to be in a Mardi Gras club that we were mermaids. So, yeah. So I'm addicted to mermaids. So I ended up buying this after I saw hers finished. It is just gorgeous. I love the Blue Flowers patterns anyway. So I ended up getting the Mermaid Garden. So thank you, Brie. You paid me back for making you buy the Serena from Lila Stitches. And then the next one I got, I've seen this on Rolodex Stitches. She's talked about this designer a lot, and I never did go check her out, but I seen her talking about the pattern again, and I went and looked at the pattern. I actually have like 15 of this designer's patterns in my 123 Stitch wish list now. Her work is gorgeous, or his, I'm not sure, but it's Cuore E Batticoure, I think. I hate to butcher their name, but I mean, that's the best I can do. But it's Halloween in the Rain. And like I said in, I think, video 1 or 2, we love Halloween in our family. Like, we go all out. Decorations for days. My niece is like, oh my gosh, as soon as 4th of July is over, we can put up Halloween decorations, right, honey? And her husband's like, no, you have to wait, you have to wait. She starts putting out Halloween decorations, I think, at the end of August. Like, as soon as her birthday's over. He makes her wait till her birthday, which is the 6th of August. And then she just goes buck wild. And then we start decorating probably in September. Sometimes in August. I think I did August last year. But we love Halloween. So any Halloween pattern that I can find that is different than the ones everybody is doing, I try to grab it because, and I try to do it early enough where if she likes it, I can make her one too, because her and I are like the biggest Halloween addicts in our family. Besides my husband, we call him the Pumpkin King because he carves like anywhere from 10 to 30, sometimes 40 pumpkins to display out for Halloween night at my parents' house. So we call him the Pumpkin King. But the three of us, we're Halloween fanatics. So I still have to finish her Drawloween from last year by Stitchonomy. I have a few more to do on that one. So y'all will be seeing that pop up as a whip here soon, probably after. I want to get through May Stitchy Madness, and then I'm going to stick to that one, and I'm going to do the Halloween in the Rain. But yeah, so if you see any cute off-the-wall Halloween patterns, comment below. I would like to see them. I do have all three of the witch ones from Autumn Lane in my favorites on Etsy because I love those, but I don't think I could get all three of those finished this year. I may buy all three of them and then try like one this year, one next year, one the year after, or maybe one this year and two next year. I don't know, but I'm going to get all three of those. So that's all of my haul. I didn't have a lot. I mean, technically, I have my two market releases coming, but I'll show you those when I get them. It'll probably be here before I film next week. I think she shipped them this morning. I ordered two from... Oh no, I have three market releases coming. I have one from Lindy Stitches, and then I have two that I ordered from Misty of Mystic Fabrics that I pre-ordered from Luminous Fiber Arts. So I have three coming. But yeah, I think Lindy mailed mine out yesterday, and I think Misty mailed mine out today, so it'll be next week before I can show you. Okay, so plans and goals. Pretty much my plans for the rest of the month is to stick to my goals as best as I can. So I've marked off one thing off my acrostic, and that was to finish one plant. I have updated it to say finish one plant a week, but I did mark it off because I did finish the one plant last week. I'm going to try to kick out one of the acrostics for Halloween Quaker this week. The big motif that I had to rip out, I'm going to try to finish it this weekend. I can pretty much call the B sampler one done, even though technically I didn't finish page 1. I kind of went over and then went up the rest of page 2, but I'm working back page 1, so I'm going to call that a finish. So we gonna mark that off because I did way more than what I had left to do for page 2, for page 1 to finish. So we gonna call that one done. And then let's see. This weekend I'm also gonna try to knock out finishing one row of my Christmas wish list because that one is like, I don't know, I'm 3/4 of the way through and I'm sick of looking at that thing. But I'm 3/4 of the way through, so I need to at least finish one row, which is the M for my acrostic, because M is for Mary. We're gonna get that crap finished. And then the rest is I need to start Serena by Lila Stitches and put in 120 stitches. That's nothing. I can do that probably early next week. I need to start Tired Trio by Plum Street Samplers with 120 stitches. That's easy. Then I need to do one more motif, or start one more motif after I finish the big one with 120 stitches. And I got to get in 480 stitches on Angel Pavement, which that is going to be my Sunday stitch every week. And then where is my page with my goals for this month? Ah, there it is. One page back. I forget it's one page before the calendar. So my goals were to make good progress on the bee sampler, which I have absolutely done that. I will have a finish this month. And good progress on my Halloween Quaker. I'm falling flat on that one. 4 new starts for Stitchy Madness. I have 2 new starts already. No. 3 new starts already. So I'm doing good. 3 new starts and 1 finish. Another goal was to have finishes to add to my budget. I have 1 finish already. I'm working on 2 more. Do more FFOing of old projects that I have stitched. I'm doing pretty good on that. I finished one last week, finished one this week. And then organize my flosses. I'm about 3/4 of the way done bobbinating or organizing those. The sows I'm in for this month is the Long Dog Leap Day sow with 2 Martini Stitcher and the Lucky Birthday sow with 2 Martini Stitcher, which I have finished already. And I am so enjoying the hashtags on both of those. They are amazing. Let's see. Ooh, I didn't add all my new starts. So we got Crunch now. That'll started on the 11th. And I'm also going to try to do Peep and Hello Spring by Priscilla and Chelsea also this month. Don't know if I'll get them all 3 finished, but I'm going to start them. So that's about it.
He's got shit.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, just starting. I have, let's see, where is my paper? Oh, there it is. So that's all of that. So that's it, I think. Remember about the giveaway at 50 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. The giveaway will only be to subscribers. You can share my channel with your friends, your stitchy friends that you think would like it. I'd appreciate you passing the word on. I know everybody that I watch, I usually share them with other people. The new ones I've watched this week is Married with Stitches. I have almost caught up with all of their videos. They are so funny. Yeah, and I think that's it. I need to go check on these kids. I will see y'all again next week, probably on Thursday. Happy stitching.